We have reached the conclusion of the 2017 legislative session. Senator, give us a recount of what some of the highlights for you have been this year, sir.
Well, the highlights for me is, of course, being up here and working for the people. But personally, and I think it's good for the district, good for the state, Senate Bill 34, I got it passed right in the last days, even though we pre-filed the bill last December. And it basically started out as a legal reentry where an illegal has crossed the border twice, came over once, got deported, came back in, and then committed a violent felony or some type of abuse. Then they are subject to a felony here in the state of Missouri and could be in prison 3 to 7 years. So that was huge for me. And it turned out being the big crime bill because when they went to the House, they loaded it up over there with amendments. I took the good amendments and it had blue alert in there, had a lot of other good stuff. And so it ended up being a really strong bill. A lot of people didn't like it, but in the long run, I think it passed 32 to nothing. I think there's one person absent and we have a vacant seat till the election, special election. So that was huge for me. I'd actually worked on that for 3 years and kind of hit home the other day when I was looking at the paper that one illegal just had a bad wreck and really injured a little kid really bad. And he'd been deported 15 times. And that just shows the importance of what this bill would do and don't make Missouri basically a sanctuary state. So that was my goal with that. Also, I had Senate Bill 35, which dealt with transparency. And under the previous administration, there was probably $100 million spent without anyone ever knowing where it was going or what it was doing. Purchasing land. We go to Echo Bluff, which was 62 to 65 million. Land in Oregon County, which is 8 to 12 million. Time they're all finished. Other places, Douglas County got into some of that, several other places. And so this bill basically said if the government is going to buy land, they have to notify every elected official in the county or in the area. That would include cemetery boards, library boards, anybody that's been elected, city council members, all county officials, and your state rep, state senator, sheriff, everyone else. So that'll put the word out pretty fast through the coffee shop. They have to have public hearings to let people know what they're doing. And then they have to post on a website and a couple other things. Post it in the paper. Trying to let people, I'm a big believer in transparency. Let people see where their money's going. They shouldn't have to hide it. And some people argue, oh, it's going to drive the price of land up. No, I think it'll make it more competitive. So that was a big thing for me. Was able to keep it clean. It went over to the House, got an amendment put on it, and then was able to have a conference committee get it taken off. So the vote was clean on just the bill, standalone bill, and that was huge for me. Got some great appointments this year. We got Carol Sylvie, MSU Board of Regents, living right there in West Plains. That was a huge thing for me. Got Tim Bean as the state fire marshal. That's another huge thing. I've got another interim appointment coming that the governor has promised me he'll make this summer. It's going to be a huge thing for me. So there's been lots of good goals, plus the overall agenda of the Senate. It was create jobs. That was our main thing. And so in doing so, we passed a lot of good job bills. Right to work would be probably the biggest that I think can turn the state around, be good for everyone, union, non-union people. And then we had lots of tort reform where it's awfully easy in the state of Missouri to sue right now. And so we made it tougher to do. We put the standards a little higher. Expert witness was part of that. And we said, okay, just follow the same standards the federal government has. Don't have your own little personal agenda here. So a number of things like that, but it's huge on what we've created with job creation. Get us more competitive. 47th to the 50th in the nation, something wrong, and you got to make some jobs. And if you make jobs, it's going to make our schools better, make everything better.